like sugar on my tongue, tongue, tongue. Your body is so sweet.
Hey loves, and welcome to Stunning Sadie. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. This is my part 2 for romanticizing your life. If you are watching this for the first time, go back and watch part 1 because part 1 will help you better understand part 2. So just a small recap, because I can't tell you everything. It was a short video. We talked about how to romanticize the journey and not the end goal. And so I realized that romanticizing such a big goal, maybe something that's so huge to you, might not be so realistic instead of like taking like a huge leap. And maybe for some of you, you can, and for others, you can't. And that's okay. So instead, I'm going to perhaps make it like a 3-part step on how you can get to that big goal. But first, we're going to take it into baby steps. So I wrote down in my notebook the steps that you're going to have to take before you make that ginormous leap into romanticizing a bigger goal. So we're going to start to romanticize the smaller goals first. How are we going to do that? Well, here is ways to help you romanticize your daily tasks. Step 1, make a playlist. You can also name, like, there are tons of playlists out there on Spotify, on Apple Music, on YouTube, where they say a kitchen playlist or a cleaning playlist or a study playlist. Again, you can also make your own. I have a few out there. If you look up Stunning Sadie, you will find a few of my playlists. Not all of them have tasks attached to it, but maybe my playlists might help you out, right? So let's think. Okay, so maybe for a cleaning playlist, depending who you are, maybe you want like some salsa kind of music or want something very calm if you're making or if you're baking. When I'm baking, I tend to like play much slower, calmer, maybe jazz, something, because when I do baking, I have to be very precise with it, with the measurements and everything. So I rather bake with with more relaxing, monotone, classical or jazz music, nothing with too many percussions in it. But if I'm cooking, I like a good salsa music. I like a good pop rap. If I'm cooking up like a stir fry, because I'm having more fun. I'm doing more creative things. Just like the other day, I was making barbecue chicken and I saw that I had carrots. So I did a julienne cut with my carrots. It's a very thin cut, and I mixed it in with my barbecue chicken. I would have never done something like that before, but because I played a kind of salsa merengue tone music, it allowed me to be more creative and have more fun. So yeah, definitely step 1 is making a playlist, and that way it does romanticize and when I say romanticize, because I don't know if I further explained it in part 1, but when I say that, it means, to me, my definition of it is making it pretty, but also making it fun. We don't always have to make tasks so mundane. We want to make it fun. It gets us excited to cook. Instead of like thinking about cooking and looking at it as a chore, you turned it into now an exciting experience. Now you can't wait to cook because you have this fun playlist to listen to. And now you have all these creative ideas flowing through you and ingredients with all these beautiful colors to add to it. So yes, first step is make a playlist. Second step is theme your days. Okay, here's a little secret. I got this idea for theme your days from clubs. Okay, I am a millennial. I am 30 years old, and I remember going to the club with my friends, and they had Thirsty Thursdays, Soaking Sunday, Saturdays. They had all kinds of like themes, or maybe you know there's Taco Tuesdays. So sometimes theming your day can be a lot of fun. It might be like, wow, okay, I'm theming my day. This is so maybe for example, Tidy Tuesday, Focus Fridays, Slow Sundays. So, and Tuesday, maybe Saturday, you were like, oh, I'm just going to lounge around. And Sunday, you went to church or you did some other things. And then Monday came around and you were just like too exhausted. Then you have Tidy Tuesdays where you tidy up and you pick up like laundry or clothes, or maybe you iron your shirts for the remaining time of the week. And that might help you, right? Focus Fridays, maybe you go back and look at the goals, all the things that you accomplished or things you didn't accomplish during the beginning of the week, and then you decide to hone in and just write down what you could be doing better, right? Slow Sundays. Now this is a day that you're like, okay, I'm going to like do a face mask. I'm going to paint my nails, my toenails. I'm going to maybe listen to some nice spa relaxing music and meditate on before the new work week. So yeah, definitely theming your days is a different experience to do something different with your time. Just like, oh, okay, this is exciting. I have Focus Fridays where you can have, oh God, I'm thinking of book club, but what rhymes with book club? There's no days for that. Or you could say, it doesn't have to be BB or something. You could say a book club Wednesdays, right? Where you get with your girls or your fellas and you read books, and you guys all like just bond over that. I forgot to also say as like an extra with an extra tip going back to that first step of listening, making a playlist. I also like to call my relatives or my friends during the times where I'm cooking or cleaning, never when I'm baking because I'm very precise about baking and getting my measurements right. But when I have all this flow time to do something, I like to call my mother, my friends, or my best friend, or my sister during that time because now I'm doing a task that I don't particularly like, but I'm going much faster with it because I'm on the phone with my girlfriend or something. So, or my husband. So it's a great time to like catch up where you're not just sitting down. You're actually doing something while you're catching up, putting them on speaker and mopping the floor or something. So that's a little extra tip for you. Okay, so yeah, definitely theme your days. So step one was make a playlist. Step two was theme your days. Now let's get down to step three. Use a buddy system. So I'll be honest with you, I don't like using a buddy system. It works for some people. I personally, okay, I feel like I can motivate myself, but you know what? Fine. I would say if you are like me, where you're like, oh, I don't want to like tell my mom or tell my husband or tell somebody else, like, oh, I'm going to do this project or I'm going to study for this test. And then they're there to remind you. What I prefer to do is if I will do that, but I would be like, remind me like once, like on Wednesday, or remind me on Friday, because I don't like to be reminded repeatedly again and again. Like I don't want my mother calling me on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like telling me, are you going to do this? Are you going to do like that? Honestly, my rebellious nature will make me not want to do it. So you use that buddy system how you want, but I make sure that I tell the people I care about, like, I'm going to tell you this, but please only remind me one time this week. Do not remind me a million times this week because I will not like it. Step four, break tasks into mini tasks. I know this part two is basically like breaking stuff down into to your daily tasks before we do like the big goals. But this is even more tinier. So for example, you say clean your room, right? So for clean your room, you can say mop the floor or sweep the floor, step one. Second, pick up my clothes. Step three, dust the bookshelves or, dust the TV stand. So instead of having it just write task, clean the room, you make them into micro tasks. And that might help you look at it like, oh, it's not a lot of work. Like sometimes I like to do that with bills. Actually, I love to do that with bills. Like, how do I do that with bills? So for instance, I would say, is it bills or no, it is bills. So with bills, I'll put like if I'm thinking about like what I have to pay for, I'm like, oh, I gotta pay for this, I gotta pay for that. And it's like it kind of gives me like a migraine. It gets me a headache. And instead, I like to like write down the bills that I have to put because then I can visualize what I'm doing instead of just thinking it in my head. I prefer things to come out of my mouth, like come out and written down on paper. I don't want to keep all of my thoughts all jumbled in there. Like really putting pen to paper really helps me with bills and simple tasks. So step 4 is writing things down and putting them into mini tasks to help you out. Instead of leaving it in your mind where you're continuously reminding your mind, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. And already your body's getting tired because your body's assuming that you've done the task when you really haven't. But it is making you think you've done that task. If you need any help or more advice on that, I do have a video called Getting Out of the Loop. And that's a really good video for learning exercises to get yourself out of a mental prison. Well, that's all the steps I have for you. I hope you enjoyed and will enjoy this series of romanticizing your life. And I hope to catch you on the next one. Bye.